Hi guys, so this is going to be a tutorial of survival mode, which is one of the worlds you can play in. So I'm going to start here by hitting create new, and we don't need a template, so we're going to go right to create new world. So we're going to select survival rather than creative. There's a bunch of different modes you can play on, but survival is the most typical mode people might think of when they play Minecraft. And most tutorials you'll see and most gameplay you'll see and famous YouTubers such as Project and Yogscast all do their videos primarily in survival mode. Um, it's the classic mode as referred to by most of the community, and it's the mode that people typically like to play in when they play Minecraft on themselves, rather than um, trying to model something in 3D like the Game of Thrones uh, castle. So we're going to select, difficulty won't really matter too much for this tutorial, but we're just going to select normal, and we're going to create this world. Okay, so like Ebony went over earlier, there's some basic functions that we know. That's forward movement, backward, left, right, jumping, um, inventory with E, and left clicking will destroy a block like so, and right clicking, or the way it's configured on my computer, uh, the letter M will place a block. So first thing we're going to have to do in survival mode is eventually the sun is going to go down and monsters are going to spawn. So in order to not die for the monsters, we're going to have to do a couple of things. And the first thing we're going to need to do is to find some wood. So I'm going to go to these trees over here and get some wood. This is a really thick tree, obviously, for the game. And we're not going to need all this wood, but just for now, a little bit will do. Okay, that should be good right there. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to create a pickaxe, because eventually when it becomes night we're going to need light, and in order for that we're going to have to mine coal, but we'll get there later. So first thing we're going to do is pull up the inventory. We're going to take the wood into the crafting menu, and this will create planks. So this wood actually doesn't do much for us in its current state at all, so we're just going to keep creating more and more planks and max that out. And then what we'll need to do next is we will need to create a crafting table. So we're going to click the crafting table, click one, put it down, and pull all of this back. And we'll also need some sticks too for later. So the crafting table allows us, we have a small crafting table in our inventory, but in order to make the things we really want, we're going to need the crafting table, which makes this right here bigger. So first we're going to hit 1, or if it wasn't selected, so I could hit 3 to get the sticks, 2 to get the planks, and just 1 to get the crafting table. So I'm going to hit M to place it, and M again to use it. Okay, so now we have that up, and first we're going to put the sticks here, and then right click to put 2 of them in, and then we're going to go right click across the top, which will create us a pickaxe. And this is what's going to help us mine coal. This might seem like a lot, but it'll all make sense later. So we still have a little bit of time, and we're just going to pick this back up again. And maybe we'll kill this cow for later. because eventually we'll need food. Got some beef. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to find a coal seam. So our hearts across the bottom are our health. And if we take falling damage, or if a zombie tries to kill us or something like that, our health will go down. And if all the hearts turn to black, we die. This these pieces of meat on a stick here, that's our hunger bar. And that's why we killed the cow, because if we run out of food, then our hearts start to go away, and eventually we'll die from starving. So we're going to try to find where the closest mountain is, and I'm going to guess it's this way based on how the topography changes, if you see in the distance over there. And as there's higher topography, you can see a coal seam from, rather than having to mine for it, you can see it in the side of a mountain. So, or actually, maybe there's some in this cavern, I don't know. Sometimes we could get lucky like that. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're going to head towards that mountain. So right here, I'll talk about this while we move. This pink stuff is called gravel. And gravel is one of two types of blocks in Minecraft that will fall when you place them. So you could put a piece of dirt and stack it up too high and destroy the bottom two while leaving the top one, and it would stay. But gravel and sand are special blocks, and if you try to take out the center of that pile, the gravel and sand will just fall. So here we go, and here's a pretty steep cliff-looking thing, and we're going to go for this coal seam right here. You can see it because it's black in the side of the stone. Okay, so we're going to climb up here, and then we are going to mine this out. Try to get all of it that we can. I think creative mode is the most fun part of Minecraft personally, because or survival mode rather, but because creative mode, all the blocks are given to you, and I think part of the fun of Minecraft is that you have to explore to get the resources, and I really like it better, so that's why I'm doing this part of the tutorial. Okay, so collecting the coal. Okay, so now we have some coal, and the way we're going to create some torches is we're going to put the coal here, and we're going to put the sticks there, and then we're going to exit that because, or I guess I didn't do it. Here, here, and click here, and this creates torches. So now we have torches and plenty of wood, so at least for right now, we'll be fine. So this is another important thing. So when you go into water, and I go down, there are these bubbles you see on the bottom, and as they click away, you'll start to lose health once they go away. So just to demonstrate, yeah, so I could drown in survival mode like Ebony said in the last video. So I am going to create a shelter now. So right there looks like a good place for one. And I'm going to go up to it. And I'm going to mine this out here. looks fine to me. And then hollow it out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to let this video go for a little bit and I'll fast forward to when it's nighttime. Okay, so now we can see this green thing over there. That's a monster called a creeper. And as the sun goes down and the moon comes up, the monsters start appearing. Some of these monsters will cross the water, and some of them will not. But so that is just an animal. But here's an example of a monster. I'm going to create a bridge across my moat here. Okay, so that's a spider. That's another example of a monster. And so when I go back in, I'm going to want to create this wall to make sure that no monsters will come in. And what I'm going to do next, since your first night, you're primarily going to be doing things like this just to get a starting point for your survival in the game. I'm going to make this crafting table and I'm going to start to make more stuff that I'll need in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the crafting table and I'm going to drop the sticks here and then create a stone pickaxe, which will be a lot more helpful than this wooden one. So I'm going to go into that now. Hollow out my hole. Now we've hit gravel. That's what I was talking about earlier. Not quite sure where we are. This is probably the side of that cliff we were looking at before. Maybe not, I don't know. Anyhow, regardless, so the way this typically works is you make more torches, and since you have to kill time before the sun comes up, and when the sun comes up, all the monsters die. But since we have to kill time, what you'd probably do is mine this out further and see if you could find some ores in here, which is what the coal looked like. Put all these up for now. And yeah, so this is how creative mode works in Minecraft. So the sun will come up, and then you'll be able to do the same thing again. You'll be able to look for more coal, whatever it is you want to. Then you can start building a house, creating a mine, doing all those things. But I hope I did a good job explaining the basics of survival mode and how to survive your first night in Minecraft.